You see, sometimes when we see some things happen to some people, we must be sorry for them. Sometimes what we see is the judgment of God being, you know, cast out or meted out onto these people. All throughout the Bible, there's this concept of sowing and reaping. And we know the popular saying, you reap what you sow. Many of the times when we see some people who are going through some difficult times, it is really the judgment of God that they are coming under for months, years, decades of sowing bad seeds. So all this time, years and decades go by, and these people have been sowing bad seeds, and God has been merciful and forgiving and having long suffering towards them for years. And eventually there comes a point where God says, all right, now it is time for judgment. Now it is time for you to reap the harvest of those bad seeds that you've been sowing. So sometimes when we see certain things happen to people and their life begins to spiral, their life begins to descend into chaos and disaster, it is the fruit, the bad fruit of those bad seeds that they've been sowing for years. And many of the times, what happens for us as Christians, some naive Christians, is that if it is our friends or if it is our family members who are coming under the judgment of God after years of sowing bad seeds, we want to be the one to now rescue them from the judgment of God. We want to be the one to come in between them receiving the full measure of the judgment that they deserve from God. But ask yourself this: if God never blind Paul and slap him off of the horse, would we get 2/3 of the New Testament? If God never make a whale swallow Jonah, would the city of Nineveh have gotten the message that they need to get and be saved? So before you run, go try help your family member or your friend who would seem like sudden disaster and sudden chaos just descend on them life. Ask God if this disaster is not sudden, if this chaos is not sudden, but rather it is his judgment that has been long waiting, that he has been long suffering in keeping it away, and it is finally, the cup is finally full, and it is now time for that judgment to be poured out onto them. Because if you are the one who comes between God and executing his judgment on somebody, God is going to hold you accountable for that. It's not going to be pretty for you. And what you know understand is you may be preventing their salvation by going and being their naive rescuer. You may be preventing, the creation of a Paul. So before you run, go help certain people. Ask God if what is happening is his judgment from years of sowing bad seeds, and they are now finally reaping the reward for those bad seeds. You're fearful and you're wonderfully made. God bless you.